Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Green Spark podcast. It is a podcast exploring paths to a sustainable future through engaging conversations with experts and thought leaders, exploring best development practices in renewable energy, information technology, and entrepreneurship. I am your host, Awa Melvis, the communication and advocacy assistant for Hope for a Better Future, a climate activist, and a journalist who is passionate about sustainable living and climate action. This podcast will educate and inspire you across diverse industries as we will showcase success stories and collaborative opportunities, providing valuable insights for creative and innovative problem solving. And if you are someone who is curious to learn innovative ideas for business startups and career development, or someone who is on a self-development journey, then this episode is for you. Our topic of discussion today is renewable energy and its impact on young people in Cameroon and climate change. How is renewable energy improving the life of young people in Cameroon, and how does it drive community development? With me is our guest for today's episode, of a renewable energy expert who doubles as a community developer and the youth empowerment champion, Mr. Kanjo Etienne. Etienne is a renewable energy expert who has done quite a lot in the field of youth empowerment, empowering young people through renewable energy, and helping young people to gain skills for business startups. Welcome, Mr. Kanjo Etienne.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for honoring our invitation to be our guest for today. Okay, please just look at the camera and introduce yourself to us.
Yes, I'm Kanjo Etienne. I've been in renewable energy since 2012, and I've been privileged to train over 300 youths, and I've equally electrified over 6 villages since then, and they still have solar energy running.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kanjo Etienne. Our very first question for today, you're a renewable energy expert, and we are aware that renewable energy goes beyond just solar energy. We have hydro, we have biogas, we have wind, and we even have clean energy cooking methods. So how is renewable energy impacting young people, and how does it drive community change in our society?
Yes, like you've rightly said, renewable energy is not only about solar energy. It encompasses many other sources like clean hydrogen, like wind, like hydropower, and clean cook stoves. And this has had tremendous impact on the youth in Cameroon and Africa as a whole. Yes, you look in the aspect of employment and enterprise, you see that most youths have gotten into uh, clean jobs, or we say green tech. When we started in 2012, the term solar installer was so strange. That's not the case today. Many youths have gotten into startups, having their own businesses in solar energy, and building clean cook stoves, employing other youths in the process. So it has had a tremendous impact in the aspect of keeping down employment and even creating jobs for the youth.
Wow, quite interesting. Okay, so can you share with us some success stories where your renewable energy training has benefited young people who are maybe currently self-employed from this training they had with you, and at the same time supporting the community, driving positive change in our community?
Yes, there's been a lot of success stories registered. Like I mentioned, I've personally trained over 300 of these youth, and all of them, I mean, all of them are all employed. Some are working in energy companies, renewable energy companies. Some have enterprises of their own, also employing other youths. And for those who are not directly involved in renewable energy, they are using this wonderful tool to leverage whatever they are doing. For instance, there are many of them who are into agriculture, but since they had this training in renewable energy, they are leveraging those skills to improve their agricultural businesses, be it for water pumping and irrigation, or be it for the processing of the agricultural products to increase value.
All right, thank you very much. I think this conversation is becoming very, very interesting. Thank you very much. Again, how do you train these young people in your renewable energy projects, and what skills do they gain? What are the different skills they gain, and maybe how do you train? Do you bring up training, maybe shifts sessions, or what actually do you do in? How do you do this training? I just want to hear from you.
Yes, that's a very important question, and that's also one thing that makes us, our training program unique. First of all, I would like to highlight the fact that our training program is 80% practical and 20% theory. I also like to highlight that we train students taking into consideration the specific needs of communities, which means our training is highly customized. When you come to solar energy, for instance, we make the training very, very flexible, affordable, and comfortable for our students. How is this done? You see, we live in a community where there are people who have the desire to learn but might not have the necessary means or the time and so on. So we structure our programs in sessions. For solar energy, we break it down into crash courses such that a student who can afford just 10,000 francs may be able to learn one crash course. And when they have the means and the time for the next course, they still come and register. This flexibility makes it friendly to students and also makes it affordable to them. Our training takes consideration of, this is a very important point, the resources that are available in our communities. For one community, we may have an abundance of sunlight, which means solar energy will go so well for that community. In another, there may be a waterfall, which means hydropower is a livelihood for that community. In others, we can have a lot of farm waste, meaning we can carbonize that and make sure clean cook stoves go into those communities. So we take into cognizance all these resources and then train our students to carry out pre-feasibility studies and feasibility studies to ensure which best suits which energy source best suits which community. Then we give them that hands-on training, which is 80% practical, 20% theory.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Etienne. I had to save the best for the last. Now, what advice will you give to other young people out there who are maybe looking forward to joining you in this renewable energy industry and maybe making a living out of this training?
Yes, that's a very important question. And before I answer that, I would like to give you some statistics to tell you how important this sector is. You see, the entire African continent has 600 million people living without electricity. That's to tell you there's a huge market. There's a huge market. Secondly, Cameroon has over 10,000 villages that have no electricity. That's a huge market. I remember some years back when people who were in technology like typewriting, in the sales of typewriters or doing typewriting as a profession in institutions and organizations, but couldn't see the future, couldn't see the future to see the trend that was coming in that industry, missed out in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. What happened? The computer technology came in and flushed them out of their jobs and the job market generally, out of business. They couldn't see the future coming. It's the same thing happening today in the energy sector. You see, fossil fuels are outdated fuels. They're phasing out, and renewable energy has come to stay. I would like to point here that the European Union has already signed conventions to decide that by 2030 and beyond, there will be no production of internal combustion engines again. This means all electric or all cars will be electric beginning 2030 in most European countries. And you know, in Africa, most of our vehicles are imported from these countries. We don't manufacture any. That's to tell you that there's a huge opportunity. Now, when this happens, are the youth ready to take on the jobs that will be created by this huge change? I think not. So my message to the youth is very simple and clear. there's a huge new opportunity to grab. This is in renewable energy, and we are doing such a good job at Hubefi to train these future leaders. Our training does not only give you the necessary hands-on skills needed for this job market, we give you quality information, quality knowledge in entrepreneurship so that you'll be able to market your skills. So think about this huge market. What will happen to the millions of African youth, Cameroon youths who are currently working with fossil fuel systems in repairs and assembly and so on? When they're phased out and we don't have the manpower trained to take on these electric systems that are coming, there'll be a huge gap. The forerunners in these systems will have an industry that will last probably for hundreds of years, just like fossil fuel systems that have lasted for over 100 years. So my encouragement is for you to register in our training program. It is tailored to be flexible, to be affordable, and it is hands-on and gears you towards sure employment, towards sure self-employment. Very important about that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kanjo Etienne. Thank you for sharing this very inspiring work you're doing in empowering young people in Cameroon and equally contributing to combating the issue of climate change in Cameroon. Thank you very much. The world is actually evolving and you don't want to be left out. Thank you very much again. And for our key takeaways for today, remember you and I are curious to learn innovative ideas for business startups and career development. Our key takeaways for today: 1. Renewable energy is profitable while empowering communities. Renewable energy can be profitable while empowering communities. 2. Youth empowerment is crucial for climate action. And 3. Community development and climate solution intersect. These are the key takeaways I picked out, and I'm sure there are other key takeaways you have. Do well to share with us on the comment section, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button and like and share with other people like you and me who are curious to learn innovative ideas for business startups and career development. Thank you all for tuning in today. I can't wait to share with you our guest for next episode. I'll see you all in our next interview. But until then, stay glued.